2021 at Gifford was a tough year. It was full of extra work, different work, and normal work. The best thing about Gifford is everybody pulls together and makes it happen. At the beginning of 2021, we had just started having our vaccine clinics. We were feeling really good about our vaccine clinics. We were vaccinating a lot of people. There was a lot of excitement and enthusiasm around it, and people were here to help and making it happen. Testing was a well-oiled machine for sure. We were doing a lot of testing and making sure that people were able to get in and have their tests done and their results back really quickly. In the summer, we had a little bit of a reprieve. Then we decided that we needed to start back up again. That was a hard pill to swallow. We had to pull everything back together and start again. At that point, we had already given our staff back to their positions. So we needed a new team.
Rebecca O'Berry sent out a message to pretty much anybody in the hospital asking for help in any way, whether it's clerical or clinical. I had an unexpected gap in my scheduling and there's a clear need here. I'm qualified to give immunizations. And I just sort of let her know, what do you need me to do? How can I help you?
A lot of the work that I do in community outreach just wasn't possible during COVID, obviously. We couldn't kind of go out into the community. So I saw the need for spaces that could be filled here within the hospital. So working in the COVID vaccine clinic, working in the stop and swab. Again, just that's my nature. I want to kind of go where help is needed. And I just saw that there was an opportunity to do these things and I just kind of jumped at it.
It's a team effort, all hands on deck. I feel strongly that every morning when I put my Gifford badge on, it's my job to take care of this community. And that is just a huge piece of helping our community by stepping up to fill in these needs where we have them.
After we put the call out, it was amazing to see how many people stepped forward to be able to learn something new and be part of a team. The goal for all of us is just to get through this a lot quicker and together.
Obviously, there is that nervousness in the beginning. You just want to do things right, you want to do it well, but once you're out there and you're just kind of rolling with it, you really just get comfortable, you set a pace, you have a great camaraderie with the people that you're working with. We make it fun even when it's -20 outside, and we just make it work, and we're here for the community.
When there's a need like that, people don't hesitate to step in and fill in the places that we need that to be done. I think that comes from great leadership, and we have some phenomenal leaders here who really instill that in us as employees here at Gifford to do what it takes to get the job done and take care of our patients and our community every day.
We're kind of making history right now too, and it's wonderful to be able to come to work and be able to offer these immunizations to people and to give them in real time and to see us being able to sort of chip away at this person by person.
People saw this as an opportunity to step outside their comfort zone, to put themselves out there for people in their community and learn something new. It's been amazing to see.
Being here 8 years, 6 of those years have been devoted to planning an electrical upgrade that has been a necessity for this facility for some time.
We worked through every department within the walls of this hospital for an energy upgrade system, for installing power, and I mean, we really upset a lot of different flows by going into those areas and schedules, but everyone worked with us and it worked out incredibly well.
To be able to produce numbers month to month as our energy bills come in, we can actually see tangible savings on the amount of work that we're doing through the facilities team.
We're not a revenue producing department, so when facilities can find savings, we're really doing our part and passing that on to our healthcare system so that we can provide quality healthcare to the community.
The planning that's gone into electrical upgrade, the utility power within the facility is allowing us to make significant changes to our medical equipment here within the organization, from CT scans to more efficient power consuming equipment that we need day to day.
The upgrade in technology alone is a huge advantage for us, for our patients. We can get people in and out faster, it shortens scan time, it increases efficiency, and it decreases radiation dose. So for the patients, it's a huge advantage, and we can get more people in.
Infrastructure-wise, we always have to continue to improve with, having a solid, redundant system. So we put forth this plan with our local partner, Du Bois & King, to try and look at our chilled water system so that we can kind of future-proof and have reliable chilled water systems so that we're not replacing them in an emergency situation. In your car, when you turn the air conditioning on and you get that cold air, that's cold water running through essentially a radiator that air blows through. We're such a large facility that we have to have chilled water throughout the entire facility. So we have a plant that has chillers that make chilled water that's piped throughout the facility. So when you do lower the temperature in your area, that chilled water is released by valves, air blows through it, and it comes into the facility. We have put a pump system on the roof that will supply the chilled water throughout the facility, and the more that we add, the more efficient we become because the pump system is one that rates itself based on demand. The efficiencies that we're getting by having a central plant are really monumental. I mean, we a lot of times had several small units which had their own compressors in them, which are quite honestly kind of energy hogs. So by having a central plant, we've built reliability, we then have efficiencies, and then with this pump project that we've done as well, to be able to pump that chilled water throughout the facility efficiently has been a real savings for us financially as well as reliability.
And we owe that to the organization in modernization, but we owe that to the community to lessen the carbon footprint and to put our utility costs and savings back into the facility or back into the staff.
Gifford is certainly a community that gets behind these projects as a community, and everyone sees the goal and works together and supports each other through that process. And that's the beauty of operations when you're doing those projects, large or small, and you don't really have a large impact on the facility, on the customers, on our employees, and you're doing this behind the scenes and being successful and rolling that out. It's a great feeling that, that's success.
We turned one unused area of our hospital into our Women's Healthcare Center. This was an amazing feat to do in the middle of our pandemic, and another sign of how Gifford pulls together and just makes things happen. We needed that renovation and we made it happen. It's been an amazing adventure.
I had to give up hiking because of my heart, so I took up paddling, and now I am a crazed paddler. I had an accident 2 years ago which shattered my left femur. That put me in the hospital for quite a while in Florida. Thankfully, I was evacuated back to Randolph and placed at the Gifford Hospital, which took such good care of me.
When I first heard about Linda's story of being injured and coming to Gifford for care, it really made me just reflect on that's why a lot of our women come to us is for that personalized care where you can get really high quality medical care, but also really high quality personal experience.
So I have a lot of gratitude in my heart toward Gifford and a lot of appreciation of how broad their skills are and how widely they reach in this community. And that inclined my heart toward them and my pocketbook as well. I chose to donate to the Women's Center because I think that is a really essential population, starting with young women right up through childbearing and post-childbearing life. And focusing on the health of women helps everyone. And my hope is that the Women's Center will work with women from early adolescence right through their lifetime, and that there will be a strong personal bond there.
This donation has made it possible for us to care for so many more people than we were able to before, where our women can be comfortable year-round and where they have space to bring their family, meet their children for the first time, but also do that highly personalized, individualized care as they are creating their family.
The level of the skilled professionals is terrific, but the heart of the care is the warmth and the graciousness of the care that you receive there. And that can't be measured. It's just invaluable.
Late last fall, we received an email from a graduate of our cardiac rehab program, Justin Merrill. He is a local business owner here in the community who had gone through our program. His email really touched us because it's always good for us to get that kind of feedback from our graduates.
When Justin first started with our program, he had a goal to do some hunting up in the high altitudes of the Colorado mountains. And so then the program kind of started revolving for him around being able to do that. And he was kind of worried about not being able to be there for his kids in the future. So that was a big motivating factor for him to come into the program also.
Justin came to us by way of a referral from Dartmouth, where he had had some stents placed after a cardiac event that he had.
We see these type of cases a lot, usually in older people. We have seen a few younger like Justin, but for Justin it was a surprise. He's somebody who spends a lot of time outdoors. He's very active with his family. So he was scared when he came to the program. Like a lot of people, when something like this happens, they're so nervous when they come see us. And they really need our support in that way as well.
And the fact that he was going to be monitored during the sessions gave him some peace of mind that he could come in and try and push himself to get stronger and increase his endurance, because he'd know that we would be there monitoring him and keeping him safe.
Yeah, and that is a pretty common thing with rehab patients, especially ones that have been active. And if something's happened during an activity that they normally do, like in Justin's case, he was playing golf. We've had some that were out biking or hiking and they've had their event, and they come into us nervous because they're afraid that something else is going to happen while they're exercising. The fact that we're monitoring them, keeping an eye on them, making sure nothing's going to happen so that we can adjust accordingly if we need to. But if something does happen, then we have the capability to help take care of them.
So after Justin graduated, he did end up going on his trip out west, and we got an email from him that he sent back to us that I'd like to read. And it's to Scott and crew. First, I wanted to thank you. Second, I wanted to let you know that my trip out west was a huge success. I shot a 6x5 elk at 9,500 feet up. They estimated its weight to be over 650 pounds. I want to thank you for your help. I was in the best shape of any of the other guys on the hunt, even the ones that live out there. I was able to hike up and down the mountain without getting winded. I definitely wouldn't have been able to be successful without your help. So again, thank you.
Every patient has their goals, and we do our very best to help get them there. This program is tailored to the patient. You know, they have a goal in mind, and we're able to at least try and help them get there.
And just being people that have committed themselves to healthcare for their profession, sometimes you really enjoy helping people out. It's great. Once they're not in your care anymore, you sort of wonder sometimes as to how they're doing long term, maybe what they thought of the experience of the cardiac rehab. So that's doubly important to get feedback. And it just keeps us motivated here to handle the next people that have enrolled in the program. So it was really quite an uplifting thing to get that email.
COVID-19 and the pandemic has brought a lot of stress to everyone, whether it's here at work or in their personal lives. We've all really felt it.
We lost a lot of people. However, those that have remained are a group of people that really want to be here, that really want to do this job, that really want to take care of this community. And you can see that.
Everyone shows up every day. We're all here to pitch in together. When somebody's having a bad day, we give them a little bit of a break and step in where we're needed. The beautiful thing is our patients don't know it. We try to keep those things hidden and put the focus on them and their care and making sure they have what they need when they're here from us.
If something happens to each other, we kick in and we try to help. We're just really supportive here. Not only is it a small knit community that we help and we work with, but we also support each other as well.
People are dedicated, and they're dedicated to this community, and it makes it a great place to work, and it's fun to watch.
One of the great things that happened during this past year was monoclonal antibodies.
Monoclonal antibodies came on the scene relatively early in COVID. The data was so good, we found it impossible to ignore and went ahead and started providing those. So we had to build a system that was largely volunteer-based. We used mostly emergency physicians because they were a group of folks that were used to working with COVID patients. We're used to the PPE. We leaned on the generosity of the nursing staff, who is already stretched thin, but with the understanding that if we can keep the patient out of the hospital, they're going to be helping themselves as well as the community. And we've seen a pretty amazing response.
We're happy to be able to be part of that solution for Vermont.
Which again is gratifying that I get to work here, that I get to work with these people. It makes it all worthwhile.
We've come a long way in the pandemic. There's really good, accurate testing. The vaccines are here, people are recovering, people are moving on, and we're really hopeful that this year we'll all be able to celebrate together.